Hello there everybody and welcome back to falmunction Plays Afterbirth Plus. We got some more post-it note stuff to do. I'm playing as Eve, as you can see. We are going for delirium as always when this situation arises. Trying to get some extra damage done right off the bat. Getting our Horror Babylon on. And we get some more fuel for it as well. Very nice, very nice. Of course, we're hoping to make that a permanent state, etc., etc. You know the drill by now. You know how to play Eve. You also know that it's not always possible. Ooh, Black Feather. That may be a damage up because of Horror Babylon. We'll see. And our first boss, Larry Jr., is not a problem. Quite the opposite, although with only 1 HP. You gotta be careful! Okay, well. Coat hanger is great, though. Okay. Time to actually go. Oh, that's the perfect time to use a pill. Time to go and look up our item room. It's a little bit dicey already. The way these guys fidget around. You wouldn't think little dips of poop could be so terrifying. Another pill, range up. Always best to use pills when you're almost about to die. Only in Isaac though. Only in Isaac. Otherwise, you might have terrible consequences. But more importantly, not just getting some nice item here. More importantly, a little bit of HP would be nice. Let's see here. Ooh, Tech X. Tech X is great. Don't mind this one. Will also let us break the poop a little bit faster. Nice. That's what I was looking for. Okay, let's move on. By the skin of our teeth. Solid 2. Kind of a tempting proposition, that curse room, but not just yet. You gotta be patient. Especially since it will not, like, if I do it at the wrong time, especially, of course, after I gain some health, I will deal with the devil chances if I'm not careful. We should go to the shop hopefully and buy a spirit heart there. We have enough bombs to make it work, even if we don't have the money. Come on, get out of here. These guys are very scary. Smallest enemies can be scary. Number 2 is actually great if you know how to use it properly. And I wasn't gonna, you know, bum around about that one. Ah. God damn it. Came so fast, officer. I had no idea. So yeah, just, ooh, nice. In case you were interested or wondering, good thing. We got that. Okay then. I mean, couldn't have given me that a little bit earlier, huh? Oh well. No thanks. Yeah, number 2, just in case you didn't know or didn't remember, as long as we keep holding down the firing direction, we will poop out a bomb Like this! God damn it. But we're fine now, actually. We're more than fine, even though we didn't get the deal. Which I wasn't expecting anyway. A lot of HP is what you want, as Eve here. You just gotta be careful and remember to listen for that sound when you go. That's when you're supposed to get out of the way. And the cool thing about those bombs is that they do damage to the entire room. As long as an enemy is vulnerable, they will take a hit, which is nice, but it's also slightly dangerous. It's actually one of those risk-reward items that I really like, but I'm usually... I don't want to... Because I know that I will trip myself up trying to use it as best I can. Whereas if I just used my tears as intended, as I'm used to them, I will make less mistakes and therefore my run will be better because of it. But I think, you know, it's good to give it a shot at least. Okay. Get that key later. Just wanna go ahead a little bit faster. And here's the boss fight. Okay. I mean, could have been a lot better, but whatever. Okay, almost ran into the bullet. Man, to think that Dark One used to be my nemesis in this game. Kind of ridiculous. Oh yeah, we got Curse of the Blind. Toothpicks is great, and Guppy's Paw is great. Black Powder, not so much, but I'm gonna keep Guppy's Paw. Even though Razorback gives us some damage, Guppy's Paw, I think, is the more, the item with more potential, let's say that. I don't think I want another question mark item. I mean, I could literally get both of them without spending any money because I have infinite bombs, effectively. But, you know, I think we'll be fine. We could get something really bad, like a little baggy or something like that. At the same time... Oh, and by the way, you've seen me use normal bombs for, like, utility purposes. Oh, fuck. Forgot to put that. Was there a key in the shop? I don't remember. Yeah, okay. Yeah, you've seen me actually place bombs, even though, you know, I could just wait a couple seconds and lay down a number 2 bomb instead for, you know, Parasite. Great item. In order to, you know, blow up a rock or blow up the entrance to a secret room or something. This guy gets blown up, I think. There you go. I was hoping for keys, but whatever. See, like this. I can just poop it out. But at the same time, if I do that, sometimes, you know, maybe I have to move and my tears might knock the bomb around and then I have a hard time dodging it. That kind of stuff. So, if I'm not in a controlled environment, I hesitate to use it that way. Okay. Catacombs 2. We're moving sort of ahead, sort of fast enough, I'd say. Also, don't expect me to use black powder effectively either. It's another one of these items where I'm like, you're just gonna distract me from actually shooting enemies and dodging and stuff. Easy peasy. Oh yeah, that's another thing. Enemies also get confused while they're under the influence of number 2 bombs. It's really cool. I think it's literally the same effect as if you were shooting like a black poop, I think. Although, you know, it has the added detriment of having a potential to blow yourself up. That sort of worked. Okay, Pandora's box. Oh, did not mean to buy that. Yeah, let's take this thing and use it right away. Speed upgrade is nice. Drowsy pill. Don't mind that at all. That worked as well. Okay, cool. Yeah, I think we have this Lilith run under wraps, more or less. Not quite, because we have to get to Hush, and who knows if we end up having enough HP for that fight. But at the same time, we also have Guppy's paw. So I don't know. Come on. I want that key. There you go. So I might just wanna bring up something that I was actually promised you guys I wanted to follow up on, is Jacob's Ladder. Ooh, Layla's is nice. Jacob's Ladder is a movie, but it's also an item in Isaac. I recently had it in a run, and I went off on this tangent that, you know, it's a very like psychological horror movie, and among others, Silent Hill took inspiration from it, like the entire series of Silent Hill. And I recently watched it just so I could talk to you guys about it. See what I mean? Especially with the parasite, it's really like this. Hopefully it's better. Yeah, okay. There you go, the black poop I was talking about. Right, so Jacob's Ladder, really, really good movie, I gotta say, if you care to listen to this. I mean, if you're really, you know, if you're really interested, I'll give you the Cliff Notes. Oh, no, not Cliff Notes, that's a bad way of phrasing it. It's just that I'm not gonna go ahead and spoil it for you. Thought I was still flying. So yeah, it's about this guy, and he's a Vietnam vet. That's a heavy theme in the movie, and he's really, he's very much suffering from his life as former life as a soldier in Vietnam, and from that sort of, because it takes place like a couple of years after he, the narrative is appears to be a couple of years after he was discharged, and you see him kind of. He seems to be, you know, well-adjusted citizen, actually, and I was sort of, you know, sort of actually surprised by some of the, you know, more, by some of the more lighthearted parts, because especially the first act is, shows him, you know, being a good guy. Like, he has a girlfriend, he has a job, even though apparently and you know, I think I'm getting a little bit more into spoilers, but basically, to still keep it relatively vague, he has these visions and they haunt him, and a lot of the movie is you figuring out what's actually real and what isn't. And a lot of movies have done that, of course, to some degree, even though, ooh, bloody crown. Some movies have done that, but not in the same way and not for the same reasons this movie did it. And here's the thing where it goes into Silent Hill territories, that the aesthetic and the creative design of these hallucinations, that's why you see the influence Jacob Slatter had on Silent Hill. It's very, very blatant, but at the same time, Silent Hill takes those visuals and makes something new out of it. It's still psychological, but you know. But yeah, if you don't want to keep hearing me talk about the movie and you don't want any spoilers, maybe, I don't know, mute the video for 10 minutes or skip ahead or something. Basically, what I didn't expect, first of all, sudden Macaulay Culkin cameo. That was out of nowhere. I had no idea that guy was in the movie. He was very, very young. The movie is from 1990. It's the same year Home Alone came out, so he was very young. He was very cute, you know. That was when he was everybody's darling. But it's just a little like strange and kind of distracting whenever he's on screen. He isn't on screen very often and very long, but it can be a little bit distracting. But it's not to the, you know, the movie has no fault in that, you know. It's us that have become used to what has become of Macaulay Culkin, is, you know, and that kind of retroactively changes our perception. But whatever. He isn't very in the movie for extended periods of time. And the other thing, Danny Aiello, fuck yeah! I love that guy. He's a character actor. He doesn't really do much these days, I think, because whenever I see his name in the movie, I'm immediately curious, you know, because he's really good. Like, he's this, you know, Italian kind of. He's too likable to be a mobster, you know. He's like your nice Italian uncle friend. He also played, well, coincidentally, a mob boss, but a very likable one in The Professional. Why don't we get any deals with the devil? What the fuck? Maybe I'm just not looking too closely as I'm talking to you guys. But these cameos were pretty cool. But also it's very much, and that's where, you know, it drifts away from things like Silent Hill. It's very conspiratorial at the same time, but also not quite. Yeah, it's a very unique kind of movie. Apparently the source material, the screenplay, was supposed to have had, you know, more traditional, like, demon designs, because, you know, that's what he sees. He sees demons because he thinks he's going to hell, and a lot of, some of the themes are what happens when you die. How can you... how do you recognize hell? Like, is it something you can recognize? What is hell? What is heaven? That kind of thing. It's very interesting, actually. But at the same time, I think it helps that because of the whatever. Sure, I'll take room back. And the director consciously went for a different kind of design. He got inspired by a photographer. What's his name again? I looked him up yesterday. Whitkin, I think. I'm not sure. Look him up yourself if you're so inclined. But his photography is like really bizarre and disturbing because it shows you people who are either deformed or have like genetic diseases or have deformities that are linked genetically. Like there's this I think in the 70s, that case where they had this which is kind of, it links back to Isaac in a way because it's about women in pregnancy, whereas they were given this drug against morning sickness, I think, but women who actually used, fuck, should maybe pay attention as well. Women who actually used them during pregnancy had a high chance of let's see. Ooh, that one's almost worth it, I think. But yeah, we can't take any of these because we don't really want to fight Boss Rush. But yeah, these women who used that drug had a high chance of the babies developing deformities in the arms and legs and stuff like that. And, you know, Whitkin, relatively sure now it's Whitkin, those would be his, you know, people who live with that kind of disease, not really disease, this disorder. Those would be his photo models. And I don't think, again, I didn't look into it that much, but it didn't seem exploitative to me. I thought it was more like, you know, this is also what humans are. Can you deal with that? At least that was my impression. Good times. But yeah, this is where Silent Hill got his, not Silent Hill, but this is where Jacob's Ladder got his the inspiration from, and, you know, retroactively that's where Silent Hill also got its inspiration from. And here's our item room on the womb, because we carry Bloody Crown, which is awesome. One of the best trinkets in the game, right away. I'll take cancer, why not? It's gonna help us out a lot on the Hush fight, that's for sure. But yeah, one thing only that kind of still doesn't really make sense to me with Jacob's Ladder. Why in the hell is the Isaac item like technology based? Why is it, you know, lasers bouncing off of walls? Because even though Jacob was committed to an asylum at some point, or, well, you be the judge of that, I guess, in the movie, he was never treated with electroshock therapy, so I don't know, maybe it's just Ed McMillan misremembering or whatever. But, you know, it's cool. Like, this game, it's, I think I want cancer, even though I'm missing an item room when I put down Bloody Crown. Is it worth it? I think it is. Yeah, Isaac has taught me so many things. Like terms for very, very yucky and uncomfortable diseases, or parts of the human productive system that are, you know, non-standard. Blastocyst, glaucoma, not glaucoma. That's an eye disease, but you know what I mean. All these terms, you know, it's given us so much, such big insight into our world that we otherwise wouldn't have had. So I'm thankful for that, I guess, to some degree. God damn it. So yeah, I still, even if you've listened to me talk about the movie, I still say give it a watch. Tim Robinson's great. Love Tim Robbins usually in the movies he's done. If you don't know him, he's the guy in Shawshank Redemption. I'll just play this guy for a little bit and blow the other guy up. Yeah, Tim Robbins is great. He hasn't done much lately, which is a shame, but you know. People are getting... Ah, fuck. Now, I don't want to have blown up the other Judgment, whatever. Infested. And the other was Chariot, right. Okay. Yeah. That's basically it. Want me to talk about any other movies? Because it's getting harder and harder with Isaac. If your run is more or less, at least right now, it's on autopilot, as NL would say. Card Against Humanity. Just fill up on red hearts, black hearts. Might just want to keep the Emperor. Perthro is great, but I think I'm a little bit low on time right now. We are on the Womb 1, so we should be getting our... Should be getting on with it. Sure, Centaur is good. I just like to have an Emperor card as safety sometimes. Damn it. Would you please? Thank you very much. Yeah, honestly, I consider myself a bigger movie geek than I am a gaming geek, I guess. So I could talk about that sort of stuff forever and ever. It just happens to be that it's a lot harder to produce movie content on YouTube than it is to produce gaming content. Come on now. That's just the way of it. Like, I'm really... When I see... Like, I do subscribe to some movie channels on YouTube, but when I see what kind of stuff they have to go through for, you know, editing, so that the movie studios can't claim trailer footage, you know? Which is clearly, well, maybe not illegal, but at the very least, it is disingenuous, unethical. Damn it. Ooh, yeah, definitely take the pact. Nice. Down to the blue womb. Yeah. Movie content, unless, I mean, maybe if you have a really big audience, you could maybe just And if you have a cult of personality that's good enough, what star did that give us? Devil card. Not bad, actually. You could just completely avoid any, you know... I'll take Celtic Cross. I was thinking maybe that number 2 could give us homing bombs, but let's not kid ourselves. We're not going to use that ever effectively. We should always look for this crawl space or black market. But yeah, some YouTube content producers who are using movies, sometimes they have a big enough audience that they can just avoid any sort of video content that they could use, or that the companies could use to match that content and claim it as their own, which, again, not really their call to make. Anyway. I mean, it's literally their call to make, because nobody would ever do such a thing, but... You know. Movie distributors and license holders and stuff like that, they have still a lot to learn about YouTube and how that kind of online stuff works. Like, Nicalis could start, you know, claiming all sorts of stuff on YouTube if they wanted to. They literally could. Just the way Nintendo does right now. However, they're not doing it, first of all, because it's counterproductive. It is literally in their best interest to let people keep doing it. And at the same time, you know, just vilifying and sort of trying to capitalize on somebody else's work that is... I'm never gonna get this black powder circle around Hush. Because usually it hits like smaller YouTube channels with less than, I don't know, 10,000 subscribers. I mean, who am I to talk about that with low subscriber numbers as I have? But, you know, nevertheless, they're not gaining very much, and they're losing goodwill from the public. And, you know, gaming companies, at least most of them, have realized that. Movie and music companies, not so much. Which is a shame. I think as long as YouTube will keep going, the more those companies will have to learn. I mean, movie companies, and I'm on a really high horse right now, and you know, talking about that sort of stuff without really giving you any warning that it was going to happen. But movie companies, I think, must know that what they're doing is wrong, and all they're doing is exploiting a system that is not working as intended, or working with the benefit of the doubt in their favor and nobody else's. And they're just riding it as long as they can. Perthrow. Didn't we have 2 more items? Yeah, let's do this. I'll take Mr. Mega, actually. Because if I detonate the number 2 bombs... Oh, not this shit again. If I detonate my... There you go. Master 2 bombs... Not Master 2. Number 2 bombs. They will deal more damage, I think. And that does not require me, you know, to actually hit them into enemies. But yeah, so far so good. I think we, especially due to the cancer item, we got a lot of. Ooh, nice. Small rock as well. We kept a lot more HP than we usually would. Jesus. So you probably won't have to go around quite as long until we are full health. But yeah, all they're doing with their, you know, whenever somebody's movie review or whatever gets flagged, it's usually because the companies just want the search rankings. It's all about the search rankings because they want their own advertising and their own trailers to be at the top of Google's search results. And if, you know, some fucking, from their perspective, some schmuck on YouTube who has a couple million followers, because those guys, you know, can very easily get better search rankings than the actual official content from, you know, the promotional materials. All they want is just make their marketing as effective as possible. Those are 2 Ace of Diamonds cards, great. And it could be so much easier. Just buy more ad space. You have enough money. As much as the movie industry tries to convince you that, you know, they're losing because of piracy or what have you, they're literally making billions of dollars with their movies and producing movies with hundreds of millions of dollars as shit. I didn't want to use the black rune there. Fuck. That was an accident. Like an action movie from Hollywood with just $100 or $200 million as a budget. It's seen as a tame movie in that sense, you know? Like, it's not expected to do that well. But you know, your Transformers and what have you. Those movies don't fool yourselves into thinking the movie industry was gonna die out at any point in that span. Okay, let's focus on Isaac again, maybe, because I just lost a lot of HP that I actually wanted to keep. We can talk about this in the comments. I'm not shy about debating stuff like that, as long as it's civil. Because I think that's one of those debates that we should have. Like, just in general, YouTube as a service and its repercussions for daily life and society and politics and stuff like that. There's so much to talk about. And I know I'm kind of... first of all, I'm not going to get into that, because we're way too far into the run to care about that right now. But I realized that, you know, this is more of a CGP Grey sort of topic. It's not really for me to get into right now. But that's one of those, you know, really interesting things that I think should be discussed more in society, like the influence of social media, readiness of content at our fingertips that's also free, but at the same time it's kind of dictated by YouTube's monetization policies and stuff. Anyway, I'm gonna get off my high horse now. Alright. Get a room to get an extra hermit card, whatever. Just want to finish this run, actually. No thanks, actually. We don't need the HP, and polar invincibility is more important. Come on! I think... Oh, fuck. That was my own fault. That was a number 2 bomb that hurt me there. Good thing we have Satanic Bible, am I right? And another charge. Don't mind if I do. It would be nice if this was... No, it's not. It's not delirium. Okay. Nicalis. I mean... Not very good. And I don't really want to risk the broken stopwatch, because if we're unlucky, because the broken stopwatch effect, I think, extends the entire duration of a room. And if we're unlucky, we just might have a sped up delirium fight, and that would be just a disaster. Okay. I'm getting a little bit tired of this fight, though, to be honest. I'm ready to, you know, as soon as I'm done with all the characters beating it, I'll probably be fine with never doing it again. Like, with the Hush fight at least, there might be more variants, maybe, I don't know. But maybe not as much. Now I'm doubting myself. Because it seems like Delirium is always long, whereas the Hush fight can be shorter sometimes, but not always. It's weird. We talked about that for a long time as well. A long time ago. And for a long time, the fact how the perception of difficulty that people wanted from Isaac, or that people perceived to... Well, wait. The perception of the devs that they thought people wanted was different from the actual difficulty the people wanted from Isaac, which is less all these enemies have double HP now or something, and more, you know, we want more enemy patterns, we want more, you know, things to watch out for and stuff like that. Would you please? Okay. Fuck! Hey, we got the gas room afterwards anyway. It's a good thing we do have a hermit card though, because if we feel like we're not okay with fighting Delirium, if we want to keep on, if we for some reason have less HP than we wanted to, we can just bow out. Just teleport away and get some more HP before we start again. Justice card. Why not? And another heart. So, how about we go to the west? Try our luck here. That's not him. Alright. Immaculate Conception is literally not worth it, but we didn't pay anything for it, so who cares? So Delirium? Yeah, okay. we literally left him for the very end without really wanting to. Yeah. So I guess we should. No. I mean, this could be good. Strength is actually good, but we'd also lose permanent Polaroid invincibility. So yeah, the 2 Algis runes should be enough, right? Don't we need anything else? Although, I guess to be really safe, we could fill up Satanic Bible one more time. What's this? Blank rune. I think that's another Degaz. Fuck it. Let's just fight Delirium. Waited long enough. There you are. Yep. That's the bullet helliness. The problem with his shots is that they vary in speed. And they may just, you know, vary in speed on a whim. Might randomly speed up or slow it down, and that's that shit. Just want to be okay with this, even though, you know, we're actually crushing it. I had no idea we were this well equipped against this guy. He's, well, not almost dead, but just as well. We don't even need the other Algis rune. But we're gonna use them anyway. Because why not? Oh, come on. Don't artificially lengthen the fight by doing this. He's done. There we go. Thank you very much for watching, everybody. I had a lot of fun. Let's see what we get for our Eve victory. It's the Dull Razor. Alrighty. Well, I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.